Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're zeroing in on a question that's probably been on a few of your minds. Is Bank of America a good time to buy now? We're going to really dig into this financial giant, look at its latest numbers, market standing, current valuation, and its future path, all to help you make a truly informed decision. Before we dive in, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment below. Your support, maybe even buying us a coffee, helps us keep bringing you these analyses. And hey, if there's a specific company you want us to tackle next, just drop it in the comments. Okay?
Okay, let's get into it. When we talk about a huge name like Bank of America, the first thing we gotta ask is the foundation solid? Is it built on, strong ground? The latest reports, specifically their Q2 2025 results, show a net income of $7.1 billion and diluted earnings per share that came in at $0.89. Now, just a quick refresher, diluted EPS is basically the profit per share, considering all potential shares out there. This is, well, it's good news. It shows they're still making good money, which is really something, especially with interest rates doing all sorts of things lately. Earnings growth, it has slowed down a bit compared to those crazy pandemic years, sure, but analysts are still generally expecting, modest mid-single-digit growth for the full year 2025.
Yeah, and what's really interesting here is how Bank of America has kept up that profitability and financial stability. Even with the Federal Reserve's rate policy kind of flattening out things, they haven't just rolled with it. They've used their big digital presence smartly to cut costs, yes, but also to keep customers engaged. That's a neat trick, turning a headwind into maybe even an advantage. Lots of others struggle with that. And it's not just income. Their overall financial health looks pretty robust. Strong liquidity, very healthy capital position. They're comfortably above the regulatory minimums, especially those CET1 capital ratios. That's a core measure of a bank's strength. It's cushion against shocks.
Okay, so they're making money, doing it smartly, responsibly. That's good. That stability and credit losses you mentioned, that sounds reassuring. But, with the economy being a bit uncertain, should investors maybe be looking for more than just stability? Like, is there a risk that this green flag could turn red pretty quickly if things go south?
That's a really important question. And it's why looking at the allowance for credit losses and total non-performing assets is critical. We're seeing stability there, which suggests they're disciplined about risk. It feels like they've put aside enough for potential trouble, not just hoping for the best. And also, their net interest income, the profit from loans minus what they pay on deposits, that's stabilized, which is key for a bank. Plus, they keep generating a lot of positive free cash flow. And that's not just sitting idle. It's funding dividends, share buybacks, things investors tend to like, and their total debt seems pretty manageable compared to their assets. So yeah, risks are always there, but the picture now shows a bank that's not stretching itself too thin.
Okay, so solid financial base. Got it. Now let's zoom out a bit. How does Bank of America actually use this muscle in the market? How do they stack up against, the other big guys, the JP Morgans, the Cetus? What does that mean for how attractive it is?
Right. If we look at the bigger picture, Bank of America isn't just healthy financially. It's a behemoth in a really competitive field. And its valuation kind of reflects that status.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the 4 largest U.S. banks, huge presence nationally and globally. And they've got a really well-diversified business mix. They do consumer banking, commercial, wealth management, investment banking, a bit of everything. That spread really helps protect them if one area hits a rough patch,
And their digital platform, I keep hearing about that. It's not just for show, right? It's a real advantage.
Oh, absolutely. It's considered one of the most advanced among its peers. It's not just about making banking easier for you and me. It genuinely helps them run more efficiently, cuts costs, and keeps customers sticking around. That's huge.
Yeah.
Now, they definitely face tough competition, like you mentioned, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, others. But Bank of America's wide range of products and just its sheer size are, they're powerful advantages, especially when running a bank is getting more expensive.
Right. So strong finances, dominant market position. Makes sense. But here's the kicker for anyone thinking of investing. What's the market actually saying? Is Bank of America valued like the titan it is, or is there maybe some hidden value we're missing at its current price? As of August 26, 2025, the stock was around $50.23 a share. But that number alone doesn't tell the whole story. We need to look at the multiples, right?
Exactly. The multiples give us context. So the price-to-earnings ratio, the PE, is about 12.4 times. That basically tells us how much investors are paying for each dollar of earnings. What's interesting is that this is actually below the long-term average for the S&P 500. It's pretty much in line with other big money center banks. So the market seems to see it as like a solid, reliable engine, maybe not a super high growth stock. That's important for how you think about it in a portfolio. Then you've got the price-to-book ratio, PB. That's around 1.2 times. This compares the market price to the company's accounting value, its book value. It's a little bit above the sector median, yeah, but you could argue that's justified by Bank of America's steady returns and solid assets.
Okay, and price to sales, how does that fit in?
The price to sales, or PS, is about 3.1 times. That compares market cap to total revenue. It's right in the typical zone for big banks. So you put it all together, it suggests Bank of America trades at maybe a slight premium to some peers, but it's arguably earned that premium because it's consistently profitable and manages risk well. And if you look at more complex models like discounted cash flow models and analyst targets, they generally point to a fair value somewhere in the $51 to $56 per share range, which implies the stock right now is pretty close to fairly valued, maybe some modest upside left.
Okay, so not a screaming bargain, but maybe a little room to grow, according to the models. Which leads to a pretty important question. If it's already fairly valued, what are the actual market signals telling us? You know, the charts, the news, any immediate opportunities or maybe warning signs there?
All right, now we shift from the numbers to what the market's actually doing. Looking at the charts, the recent price action, Bank of America has been bouncing around between $46 and $52 over the last month or so. That's established a pretty clear trading range.
And those ranges can be useful, right, for figuring out maybe where to get in or out. So are the technical indicators just confirming this wait-and-see pattern, or are there any, like, subtle hints on the charts, anything pointing to a potential breakout or breakdown?
Good question. You're always looking for those hints, aren't you? We can see clear support down near that $46, $47 level. Buyers seem to like it there. And resistance looks to be up near $52, $53. Sellers kind of show up around that point. The stock is currently trading above its 50-day moving average. That's usually seen as a short-term bullish sign. Suggests some upward momentum. The RSI, the relative strength index, that momentum gauge, it's near 60. So it's heading towards overbought territory, but it's not extreme, doesn't scream pullback coming immediately. The NCD indicator, it's showing a positive histogram. Momentum is still upward, technically, but it does seem to be slowing down a bit. And volatility, it's actually a little below average for Bank of America right now, which suggests things are pretty orderly, but maybe less chance for those big, sharp swings if you're a short-term trader.
Huh. It is interesting how the technicals seem to line up with that stable, fairly valued picture from the fundamentals, isn't it? The market isn't making huge waves, which kind of fits with the recent news too, right? The sense of calm.
Exactly. And speaking of news, the Q2 earnings, they actually beat what analysts were expecting. The highlights were that stable net interest margin and solid credit quality we talked about. Importantly, there were no major negative surprises, no big regulatory blowups reported. And sometimes, for a huge institution like this, no news is good news, fewer unexpected problems.
Makes sense. And what about the Wall Street analysts themselves? Are they generally feeling positive, negative, or just kind of neutral on Bank of America right now?
The sentiment from analysts is generally positive. We saw several price target increases in late July, early August 2025. For instance, some analysts have a buy rating with a target around $56, which, fits right into that fair value range we discussed. It suggests they have confidence in where the bank is headed.
Okay, what about the insiders, the execs, the directors, the people who really know the company? Are they buying or selling in a big way? Does that tell us anything?
That's always worth checking. There was a Form 144 filing that's for planned sales of restricted stock. It's for about 148,000 shares, worth around $7 million total. But, Bank of America has something like 7.4 billion shares outstanding. So that amount is tiny. It's seen as procedural, not really a signal of insider sentiment changing. We haven't seen any significant clump of insider selling or buying recently in the last 3 months, which, again, points towards stability. And even looking at, social media chatter, it's moderately positive. No crazy hype, no extreme doom and gloom.
Okay, so market signals are calm. Analysts are pretty positive. Insiders aren't making big moves. It really seems like Bank of America is just steadily chugging along. So what could actually shake things up? What might trigger a significant move in the stock price from this kind of stable state?
Yeah, if we try to look ahead, future moves for Bank of America are probably going to come from specific events, catalysts, or maybe broader market shifts. But like any investment, there are definitely risks too. In the short term, the big thing to watch is the next earnings report, Q3 2025, scheduled for October. That's the main near-term catalyst. Also, any moves by the Fed on interest rates up or down, or big economic data releases, those could definitely impact bank profits, especially net interest margins.
Yeah, those interest rate changes are always huge for banks, aren't they? Even a small shift can send ripples everywhere.
Absolutely. Longer term,
Yeah.
while potential catalysts could include more consolidation in the banking industry, big banks buying smaller ones, Continued success with their digital stuff could cut costs more or bring in new revenue, and any changes or clarity on regulations around capital or loan losses could matter. Plus, just how they navigate the overall U.S. and global interest rate picture, and any specific things they do in tech or, say, sustainability initiatives.
Okay, but let's talk downsides. Every investment has potential pitfalls. What are the main risks that someone thinking about investing in Bank of America really needs to keep in mind? Even the biggest ships can run into trouble.
For sure. On the stock-specific side, there's always credit cycle risk. Basically, if the economy slows down significantly, more people might default on loans, and that hurts the bank's bottom line. That's inherent to banking. There's also ongoing regulatory risk. Rules about capital, liquidity, they can change and impact how profitable banks can be. And of course, for any huge company, especially in finance, there's always the risk of lawsuits or operational screw-ups. Things can go wrong.
Right. And what about wider risks, things that could hit the whole banking sector, not just Bank of America?
Well, the whole sector is sensitive to interest rate swings, as we mentioned. Big financial system disruptions or major economic shocks like a sudden recession. Those obviously hurt banks. And then there's the constant pressure from newer fintech companies trying to steal market share with slick apps or niche services. Plus, just the general burden of heavy regulation that all banks deal with.
Okay. So, weighing all of this, the solid fundamentals, the fair valuation, the calm market signals, these potential catalysts, and the risks. What's the final verdict? What's the overall investment picture for Bank of America look like today?
Taking everything into account, we'd give Bank of America a solid rating, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. The reasoning is, well, it's fundamentally sound, runs efficiently, offers a stable income through dividends, has modest growth potential, and maybe some limited upside from here. The valuation seems fair, technical picture's pretty calm, and the sector risks are there, but they seem moderate, not, excessive right now. I think the main thing is that immediate big catalysts seem a bit limited, so large price moves might depend more on future earning surprises or shifts in the broader economy, rather than something happening right now within the bank.
So, given all that, what type of investor is Bank of America really best suited for? If you're listening, does this fit your style?
It seems much better suited for someone with a longer-term investment horizon, given its strong balance sheet, its competitive position, the fair valuation. It could be a stable anchor in a portfolio.
Yeah.
Short-term trading. Maybe possible within those price ranges we talked about, 46,000, 53-ish. But yeah, the big catalysts don't seem imminent, and volatility is kind of low, so it might not be the most exciting stock for quick speculative trading.
Okay. So what does this all mean for you, the listener, and your potential investment journey with Bank of America?
So to wrap things up, our look at Bank of America suggests it's a fundamentally strong company trading at a fair price right now. Looks like a solid long-term investment, offering stability and some modest growth potential. Just probably don't expect any sudden sharp moves in the near term as the immediate catalysts seem limited. Thank you for joining us for this analysis. Please always remember to do your own homework and make sure any investment fits your own financial goals and risk tolerance. And here's something to maybe chew on. Given Bank of America's stability and that longer-term outlook, how does a company like this fit into your overall portfolio strategy, especially if maybe you're looking for something beyond those high-flying, high-volatility stocks? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment below, especially if there's a company you want us to look at next time. We'll be back soon with more insights on Investing Talk Podcast.